Okay, so hello guys, whoever wants to watch this video, I'm going to share a very good thoughts of by Dr. Paul David Tripp. It says here a devotional thought on fear. That means, so I'm going to read this one. And this is not my words, these are not my composition, but I'm just going to read this for you guys. I want to share it to you guys, okay? So, a devotional thoughts on fear. Okay, so it's okay to fear coronavirus. We find ourselves in a time of unprecedented trouble. Faced with a global pandemic, we need to take a moment to think biblically about our response to COVID 19. So, Paul Tripp also said that be afraid but don't give way to fear. So it's a little bit contradictory, but here is his explanation. He said that fear is one of God's good gifts to us, and there are three spiritual healthy fear. Number one is fear God. Number one is fear God. This is a holy reverence of the Almighty, the living awe of, submitting to, and the King of the universe. That is number one, spiritual healthy fear. Fear of God. Number two is rapid response fear. This is our instinctual ability to react in a moment of danger. Think of parents who spontaneously leaps into action to protect their child right before they hurt themselves. Okay, so that is number two. Number three is appropriate concern. When we say appropriate concern, this allows us to be sobered by what we are facing, and with our God-given uh, given ability to analyze, we make wise and planned choices to protect ourselves and those we love. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't volume. Okay, okay, so those are the three spiritual healthy fear that Paul Tripp shared. Okay, so again, God designed us with the ability to be afraid because He loves us and wants to protect us. Okay. Be afraid, but don't give away to fear. Giving way to fear is characterized by meditating on the trouble we are facing and forgetting God in the process. This fear reveals itself when we allow our minds and hearts to be controlled by what was initially appropriate concern. Is the pandemic or anything that makes you afraid for the matter? All you think about, all you read about, all you talk about, if any type of trouble consumes your meditation, the larger it will loom, the more impossible a solution will seem, and the more frightened you will become. In this world, you will face danger, or we will face danger. So ignoring that reality is not wise. Again, ignoring the reality is not wise. God has given you the ability to be concerned. So acting as if there is no reason for concern is not the solution. Okay. So the problem is that your meditation has been consumed by the trouble you are facing. Whenever trouble consumes our meditation, it's because we have ultimately forgotten God. We have forgotten that there is a Lord for glory, wisdom. There is a Lord of goodness, there is a Lord of power, praise, who sits on the throne of his universe. No difficulty of any kind, no person, place, or pandemic can negate his good and glorious promises to his children. Okay. So as you look horizontally, things may seem entirely out of control, but when you look vertically, this world is under careful supervision. Do I claim to understand the pandemic? Not at all. But until we're on this other side, we may never fully understand why God would allow this struggle to enter our lives. So, but we know that who he is. We know that what he can do. We know what he can promise or what he has promised. We know that he is the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. In this moment of global pandemic, don't let your meditation be dominated by fear so that you become God forgetful. Don't ignore the reality of the situation. Don't ignore the reality of the situation. Don't be embarrassed by your instinctual ability to respond rapidly when needed. Make wise stands out of appropriate concern. And most of all, never stop fearing God. But be afraid, but don't forget to give. I mean, be afraid, but don't give away to fear. Thank you very much. That is by Paul Tripp.